know who I am, I'm Crypto Indio, and I'm very excited about the next panel. We are going to be talking about Metamusic Moguls, an exploration of music and Web3. We have an amazing moderator, Jesse. Timbaland, give a big, big round of applause. Zaid and Stocks.
Out here. Long day, lots of great content. This is day 2, so we're excited you guys are still hanging in here with us. Amazing panel. Some of the brightest minds that I know when it comes to hip-hop and Web3 and in music and Web3 in general. So let's just start by, I don't think anybody needs introductions, but I just love each of you to just quickly explain what gets you excited about Web3?
Real quick before we begin, guys, this is Timbaland. I got him out of his house to be out here. Can I just get a what's up? Some noise, something. This guy is showing up here for this space for us. And I'll be honest with you, the thing that gets us the most excited about it is how much this feels like the Wild Wild West. We were just talking about it backstage.
Yeah, that's what I like about it, that it's, you know, you can be free. You can create magic with no strings attached. You know, it's the Wild Wild West, and right now there's no manual to how to run it, and you creating a new manual. I like to be the first of a lot. You know, that's just my whole play, to be the first to jump into stuff ahead of time before everybody else jump into it.
And
what makes me excited about Web3 is the fact that as I'm an independent artist, it gives me the ability to really focus on my audience and curate my fan base, really tighten it, and it gives us the opportunity to really build from ground up without having to go through so many loops and end up having to buy your own things back at the end.
Talk about it.
Basically being free.
Freedom.
Well, I want to hear, what kind of stuff are you doing in Web3? And I'm a big believer in it. I definitely understand the space and know that this is an opportunity to like pave ground waves, pave highways in the new internet. And there is a lot of opportunity. So you obviously have a lot of options. What are you building? What are you working on? What are some of the projects that each of you are doing?
So Timbaland as a brand has so many things.
Let the genius speak.
Yeah, no, man, don't do that. Timbaland as a brand has so many projects that he touches, but one of the main things that we get excited about, we have a main character, his name's Congo, he's a bored ape, and we've given him a life in this place that we're building called Timbaland, which is a music game platform that we're building to invite people to own alongside some of the music that this guy to my right makes. And so one of the main things that we're working on right now is building this place called Timbaland, where people can come through and engage with us in a live setting, play games, and also earn some free stuff.
Stocks, I know you're doing amazing stuff in this space too, as an artist, as a host, as a producer. Would love to hear some of your projects, some of your focuses from your perspective.
Well, from early stepping into Web3, I jumped in as a collector, and then I ended up teaching, taking the teaching route with Revolt TV. We did Meta Money, where I wrote and produced the show, did everything, and we're just basically teaching the simple beginnings of to people that don't understand how to even get a wallet, what are NFTs, what is minting, blah, 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 blah. So it's like we did that, and I've also done music video release drops with Glass XYZ. We recently did a Solana drop, sold out in a minute on Glass. You know
Shout out to Glass.
And then
when you say you did a drop, what does that mean?
So we minted a music video that I had. I had a music video that came out a long time ago on one of my projects, and it was on YouTube. And then I ended up taking that video off, and then we minted it on Glass, and in that minute, we made more revenue from that video in 1 minute than we did from 3 years of it being on YouTube. And
that's facts.
Facts.
We did the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We have the highest selling Bored Ape music video where this guy came and dressed up in his mocap suit and brought this character to life, and we dropped that video on Glass XYZ. and I think it was the best performing video they did last year, or this year actually. Shout out to Glass XYZ again, but big, super big for the creators. 2 million views on YouTube does not get you nearly as much money as 15 to 50 people participating in your video.
That's true community, that's true core fan base, that's straight to the consumer. And I feel like, you know, I come from both worlds. There's nothing wrong with the other side, but I think for independent people, you don't have to chase major labels when you have a label in your back pocket. Your label's in your mind and what you put your mind to. All the tools are right in front of you. So to me, I don't feel like, you know, I jumped out of there, and I still deal with the majors. So I like this world because I never was introduced to it. So for me, it's like I might as well take what I built up on this side, I call it Web 2, and move it over to Web 3. And I find more freedom because I'm only competing with myself. I'm my own boss. I make decisions on the videos, me and Zayda. We go through it, we making the cuts. It's no middleman. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I love about being independent, you know, because, you know, the majors is more like a banking system, high interest rate banking system, you know, that you pay all these high fees and don't really reap the benefits of the fruit of your labor, you know, and it's exploited in a lot of ways that it shouldn't be exploited. But in Web 3, you can control how you want to give yourself to the world.
Exciting.
Precisely.
And so do you see yourself like going back? Like if you were releasing a record or another album, you have digital audience, you have legacy audience, you're building in this Web3 space as a pioneer in this new frontier. Do you feel like Web3 offers more opportunity for a release? If you were going to do a classic Timbaland project, how would it feel?
Well, for me, it feels real big, but let's be real. Eventually, we got to have this whole room filled up. That's when it really becomes real. You know what I'm saying? When everybody starts to understand what a wallet is and what Coinbase is and crypto is, and don't worry about we in a down phase, because everything goes in a down phase, and then everything that goes down comes back up, right? And people just gotta bear with it and understand it. But I believe, I could say maybe 2 or 3 years from now, especially with independency, you know what I'm saying? I feel like independent is gonna probably overtake the majors, because a lot of independent people are not gonna wanna go to the majors, and they're gonna be superstars. We're gonna see that probably in the next 3 years, depending on their grind, their mentality, their hustle. And we're gonna find out there's gonna be a lot of people eventually starting to come in here with more wallets. As you see, all these networks are starting to connect wallets to their accounts, like Riddick, you know, wallet. You can get a wallet. They're trying to give the users wallets, trying to educate people on this thing. But I feel like it's the wave. We only have 60,000 wallets right now, right? So, or OpenSea. So imagine, just give it about a couple years. It's a brand new thing. Right now it's going through a little turmoil, and a lot of people are like, I don't know, but they don't understand the benefits yet. It's just like anything, you know, when Instagram first started, everybody didn't want to take pictures. It's like, what is this? What is this? I said, it's a yearbook in your back pocket. You know what I'm saying? That's like, think about it like that. It's a high school yearbook. It's a yearbook. It's a photo album. But I can see everybody's photo. I don't want to, then all of a sudden it blew up. And that's how I feel about this. I feel like the people don't understand the benefits of Web3 all the way yet. But just give it time. And I want to be not the main guy, but the first guy who stepped into it and opened up the door for somebody else brilliant. Look at Stocks. He'd come up behind. I'm coming behind him. But it's like more of me coming from that side of the world, going over to here and seeing progress. You know, people just go by, you know, they go by numbers, and you know how that's how the world is. Oh, it sold this. Oh, for real? I need to go check it out. But you know, once people understand the benefits behind Web3, I think it's going to be the wave. I think it's going to be it's definitely a great business, and people don't understand the business model of it. You have to have a roadmap, and this allows you to understand how record labels really work by working your own record. You know what I'm saying? Through Web3, because you can build so many funnels under your record. You're like, okay, I'm gonna drop this derivative of this person, of that, this or that. You can do so much, and it's a real business. So once people understand that, it's gonna be like, you know, for culture. Once the culture get involved, they're gonna go crazy. Just like how they go crazy with GTF. I mean, was it GTA role playing? Like it's the culture that's making that. They got hair salons. They wouldn't have never thought about putting hair salons in a role playing game. You know what I'm saying? So once they get involved with the Web3 world, it's over. And once they know how it works, all it takes is a hustler to see how to hustle. It's over.
So how is the best way, Stocks, from your perspective, to onboard new people into Web3? Is it easier for you to drop music in the Web3 space, or is it easier for you to put out music in traditional ways?
It's easier for me to sell in Web3, but in the traditional space, I'm a firm believer that, like, to stream a song, you don't have to really be a fan of somebody. You're gonna hear it in passing, it can come by, you might listen to it once or twice, but to like be a collector, you're like truly invested in that person. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it definitely makes a way for us to really connect directly with those artists, with those people, and find ways to build off of it. Can you hit me with the question one more time? I lost it.
Oh, what's the best way to onboard new people into it? Seems like bringing more people into the space is going to be the key to success in this wave. And so how do you bring new people in, and is it easier to bring people into Web3 for you versus other medium?
I think they have two different worlds, but like introducing people to Web3, I think doing things like this, like having us up here talking about it, being representation, all of you beautiful faces in the crowd that show up for this type of stuff to learn more about it. This is how we get more people involved, because people don't believe in anything unless, you see a herd. We have like herd mentality as people. So if people think everybody's like, nah, crypto's stupid, then they run that way. If they're like, everybody thinks it's tight, everybody runs that way. So it's like everything that we're doing is helping, but we do need to keep doing like installations, pop-ups, teach people like hand to hand. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot harder to bring people in if they don't already get it, because it kind of goes from like a investing place, then crypto, then NFT. So it's like different levels, and it's like if they're not even into investing yet, or even like understanding what a cryptocurrency is, it's hard to get you to like put money in, invest, and like try it. So I feel like people like me and Tim and Zay and you, everybody that's showing like that we've come from another side and we represent a certain culture and that we can do it, and there's stuff that's going on inside this world for our culture, it makes people say, oh my God, like maybe this is a real thing. And like I love to be that representation for that.
And it's also it's also a builder's market, right? Especially in a down time. This is when you create businesses. This is when you create platforms. Zaid, what was the impetus to starting Timbaland as a world?
Oh man, that's a good question. So honestly, the impetus is watching Tim work. One of the most beautiful things about just this entire Web3 landscape and being, Tim and I have been working together the last 3 years. And so when I saw the spark, the twinkle in his eye when he thinks about creating without context, that's the most exciting thing for me. I think, watching Tim, remove any sort of barrier or funnel from what it is he wants to put out in the world, I think is one of the biggest things that, the biggest catalyst for what we're building with Timbaland, because you have somebody like a Timbaland who's come from years of record label, put this song out, not this one. This is the single, everything else, get rid of that. And it comes out in this funnel, and it's like, well, those ideas are not Tim's, right? They're from the universe, right? And so like with Tim, he gets to go in this space and actually just create without thinking about what the audience or what, even the little devil in his mind is saying. And so with a Timbaland, it gives a place for those creations to take life and also new people to come and create. So I would say that would kind of be the biggest catalyst, is just seeing this guy being able to create the stuff, and then also others. He's training user behavior. He's showing others, hey, you can come here and do it too, and we can make it fun.
It's too perfect of a name too.
Oh man, you know what's crazy?
When a name has a ring to it, you feel like you belong there. Like it flows.
Modern day Flintstones.
Modern day. You know what's crazy? Yo, somebody said that last night about the logo. They were like, it reminds me of Flintstones. Either way, I can't say that now. It's gonna stick.
So how does Timbaland fit with Beats Club? And Beat Club is obviously making big splashes in culture.
Oh yeah, like I look at Beat Club, now that's that's a whole different thing. That's like me. I come from a world where you go in the studio and make beats, right? I come from that world. So then, me having kids, and I just start looking like everybody go on YouTube. So I'm like, so how y'all get beats these days? Oh, YouTube. So I'm like, wait a minute. So nobody goes to the studio? No, we get beats. Oh no, I got to create the Amazon, the beat stores. Oh no, I got to transfer all these kids, and I'm going A&R it. Then I'm gonna get the best producers on my side to curate it. So I created a platform. I said, yo, I said, this got to be, I told my team, we got to make the Amazon beat store, where you got high-end beats from the VIPs, where I got Mike Dean, Scott Storch, will.i.am, everybody from all the top producers is producing today. So if I done put over millions of dollars in kids that's creating in their bedroom pockets, because they never could get their music heard. But by me having a curated place, and the beauty about B Club is our A&R portal, because people send in their music and they want feedback. And I call myself a high-end concierge service, because I'm here, because I'm not a faceless company. I'm on the company. I'm on the calls. I talk to the memberships, and we just launching. So it's just blowing up, and we just launching. But the reason why I have so much face value right now is because I'm in it. Like, I listen to these kids' music, and I know that's all they want. And I feel like that's my transition from being the best producer to being the greatest producer, by producing others, making sure they shine. And say if Stocks need a beat, like, yo, man, I'm looking for something. Yeah, I got you. I got these 4 kids that are amazing. And so I connect Stocks with them. Next thing you know, he create a relationship. I don't want nothing from it. I'm here to connect the greatness to greatness. I just want to curate the best of the best, but not so much. Thank you. And at first I had it where you had to be a VIP, members only. But then when I started looking at YouTube, I'm like, wait a minute, I need all these kids to come here. But what's going to make their membership special is they get to build their levels up to get to the VIP or the elite type list. It's like the playlist of beats. So Stocks might go up there and be like, who the hottest kid? He go up there and it's like, how you go on Apple Music, you got the kid's face, you see his beat, see his profile, you can demo it. I got integrated technology where you can demo it, raise, I don't like this, I can do this, change that. So I'm all about making an ecosystem that I control. You know what I'm saying? That like when it comes to beats, if I'm Timbaland, that everybody call the legacy, I need to control the whole beat market, music market. I need to control all of that. So I just said, I need to create a store. I need to be like how Jeff Bezos did with groceries and products. I got to do that with music. I got to have the best writers, because these artists looking for the best team. So I have like Jazzy. I have some of the best people that I pulled aboard to build this company, and like they give me top lines, because people be looking for hooks. I got you. Boom, everything worked out. The sessions, who write it, splits, I got that all covered. I just need you to do it, record, and sign up, and be a member. I got you. You don't need to go over there. Come over here, baby.
So that's the whole ecosystem, or that's part of the ecosystem. I'm sure there's more too. Let's talk a little philosophy about music in Web3. It seems like there's conflicting ideas about royalties and fan ownership. How do you feel about co-owning music with your fans instead of a publishing company or a record label? How do you feel about fans being investors in projects? Is that something of interest? Obviously, there's the fan club experience, and that's something that a lot of people are talking about in music and Web3. Ticketing. How does music really, what's the best philosophy when it comes to fans and artists and releasing music in Web3?
I think what we're beginning to see is sort of like a minor leagues and major leagues showing up in the music industry, where there's like the indie guys are the minor leagues, and maybe you start in Web3, and maybe you start with your fans owning with you, and then that community bubbles, and there's a majors that would come in and maybe take it from there. I think it's still too early. I mean, we're just talking philosophy, but I think it's somewhere between that and the like pay-per-view and cable approach, where it's like, yeah, we go to HBO and we subscribe because I want to watch Game of Thrones, but there's DSPs, there's Spotify, Apple Music, those guys that I just want to watch TV, man. And it's like, I think there's going to be a place for indie artists with Web3. Will, the big guys have, fans owning half their stuff? I don't know. I don't think they'll need to. But I know that the indies might, just to get off the ground. I think that's the biggest thing. Wouldn't you agree, Stock?
I definitely believe in splitting equity of records, because as an independent artist, I've never been signed to a major, so nobody's ever paid advances for my beats. So me and all of my producers, we split equity on stuff. Like I split equity with them, my feature will get a piece of equity. I even give my engineer some equity. You know what I'm saying?
How do you guys split it, if you don't mind me asking?
I'll split it like producer will get their 50% side.
Do you use a split?
Huh?
Do you use like a split program?
Straight split.
No, like a OX split?
No,
so like
I count the numbers and send the payments myself.
Does anybody here know about OX split?
My mama is my business manager. She do it, and then we send the payments out.
For real?
Yeah, I send it every accounting period, every 3 months, whatever, I'm sending it. And so like we do that, and it's like I learned from the early point of being an indie that was my way to actually produce music and keep my career going without having to break my pockets. So it was like, it turned into a thing, and it became just my business model, because I'm always in the green as soon as I drop, unless I shoot a video, pay for promotion, whatever like that. I'm always in the green. And my lawyer doesn't love it because he's like, yo, like, you're kind of playing yourself. But I'm like, without these producers, I wouldn't have none of this music. I actually watched the interview where you were saying producers are the vehicle and the artists are drivers. And I thought that was the coldest quote right there, because I was like, that showed me that beyond everything you've done, that you love this shit. Like, it's important to you to make sure they get where they're going through that music. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so that's important. And I also believe in the fans getting equity and stuff like that. I wanted to do it, but I was afraid to do it because of the SEC, to be honest with you. But I've heard of different people doing it, and it gives the fans incentive to keep listening to the music. You know what I'm saying? If I'm listening and I'm getting paid, I'm going to keep slapping this. You know what I'm saying? I get paid more for this than anything else I'm listening to. Keep it going.
So you split it on paper? Like you don't use like a split contract or anything like that?
No, we do the splits on ASCAP, BMI. They get their publishing splits, and then I'll do like my mechanical royalty splits at the end. Yeah, but we do it on the split sheet.
See, that boy do what he see. He know what he talking about.
They definitely do know what they're talking about. Stocks actually has a show on Revolt. Talk a little about Meta Money and what that is doing for the culture and how that's bridging this gap.
So Meta Money is a show that we did at Revolt, me and the homie Dunny and the rest of the creative team at Revolt. We ended up doing that just to educate, because I remember I went to a Revolt Summit in Atlanta, and I was like, I just bought my ape around that time, and I talked to Dunny, and I was like, yo, like, we need to put more people onto this. And he was like, absolutely, like, you think you could come up with like a lesson plan? So then I made like a pilot with like a couple different terms and stuff like that. We shot that, and it ended up getting picked up for 2 seasons thus far. And we have been teaching through that, and I'm like seeing, like, I'll be at the different NFT events, like NFT NYC, we did a show. There's a lot of people coming up to me like, yo, like, keep doing Meta Money, because I'm really learning stuff from that. Like, the way you say it, it's like, everybody says I translate it well. I don't want to say it myself, but everybody says I translate it well, and it makes it easy for the next person to pick it up. So I just look at that as like my job. I like to be the bridge right now.
You speak to the culture.
Absolutely.
And we need more of that. We need more of that. I'm telling you, it's some steps to this to make everybody understand that it need more of this. Everybody, because it's not advanced, but it sounds, when something's new, it feels weird to them.
It's like when you tell somebody like, I'm gonna mint this, they're like, what does that mean? You're like, yo, minting is just like having a blockchain baby. It's there forever. Once it goes, then it's there, boom. And they're like, oh, is that easy? Okay, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, minting something just as easy as posting something on Instagram. And people just don't realize it because they don't want to go do the little work.
That's why we here.
So, Tim, how do you feel, though, about fans investing in your music or co-owning music with you?
I mean, for me, I think it's kind of cool, especially because you might get somebody that's a banker that just want to own your music. Now, I just got involved with a banker, and it kind of connects you to people that you don't even know. That's why I think it's cool to let fans own, because the fan that you might meet that own your music, I'm gonna say, yo, I want to meet this person. And when I say a banker, he could his regular job could be a banker, but he just got into this, took some funds because he wanted to be a part of this. So guess what? It all worked out for me, because now I met a new banker. He's giving me some point of views on something else. I tell you today, a prime example happened today. I did a one-on-one session class. I always do. I like to give back, and I do these one-on-ones with people on their music. So it was an older guy from London. So I'm like, now you know music is a young sport. That's what I'm saying in my head, right? But they don't really have no age, right? But I'm looking, I'm like, damn, you want to do music now? Like, but he was the come to find out, he was the guy who started the first streaming service before Apple and invested it and sold it early to Nokia. So I said, wait a minute. He said, so what I do is build companies and buy companies and sell them. I done sold major companies, and I invest into tech companies and bunch of new tech companies, but I do music because it's just something that's always been my passion. I said, hold on, you need to be mentoring me. He said, but I do have an idea for you that you might want to invest in. So I said, well, first play the music. So what I learned from this whole one-on-one is, so when he played this music, I'm expecting, I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was gonna be a little shaky, but it came out, it was all right. It wasn't bad. I had a few comments, and what I realized is when I told him, I said, man, you have taste. It might not be the music of today, but his taste buds are very unique and exquisite. So because of his other endeavors that he invested in, because he invested in a lot of good companies, I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on, man. Why? He said, I don't need to do it for money. I'm just something that I love to do. He was talking. I'm like, wow, you never know who you will meet in life. You know what I'm saying? So then after the one-on-one session, I told him, like, yeah, your stuff is good, man. Like, it ain't, it can fit in, in this day, you could put your music out anywhere, right? But it wasn't bad. You wouldn't think that came from him. But then he said, okay, I got something for you. I can't explain all what he told me, but I'm going to say it in simple terms. He said, how would you like to invest in, you're like this, a vinyl company where the vinyl could be made in 24 hours? He has the company that he told me the people that Peter Gabriel invested in this company. He started naming big. I said, wait a minute, hold on. He said, we have the technology. The vinyl, it takes a long time to make vinyl, and it's a custom. He said, and it's reusable plastic, like it's all stuff from the earth. It's like all these things that he was saying. I was like, oh, this is brilliant. Your vinyl 24 hours. 24 hours. I was like, where do I sign up? See, out of that one-on-one, I got a one-on-one. I got, and that's what I say when you give stuff back to the fans. You don't know who a fan is. You don't know what they are. It allows you to connect with people. So that's why I think ownership with a fan is very key to next level success.
It really gives community another meaning when you talk about it like that, and you know that everybody's going to be in it together. If somebody has also involved in that project, even from a small investment standpoint, they're going to go hard for that song, even if it's a catalog song or a new song. Now your fans are actually like, they're your partners and on a small level, they're going to go hard and maybe open your mind to all sorts of exciting new ideas. So in this last minute, let's just talk about the future of this Web3 ecosystem and where you think things can go and where you'd want to see things go in the short term.
I think free is going to play a much bigger role this year going forward with just free mints and onboarding people. We had that onboarding question. So I think free mints are going to be a big part of it. And, you know, for us, we're just gearing up for the access release to Timbaland and getting people in there. So for us, I mean, we're just excited to see what new trends. I think everybody's looking for the new wind to carry them through this year. I feel like everything is, you know, it's only time will tell, but that's kind of where our head's at.
So let me break down what Timbaland, like in my eyes, when I saw what he built. So it was music and video. I'm gonna be real quick. And I saw that, but then I said, no, Zay, you don't understand. You world building. We building a video game. It's deeper than just, it's a musical video game. We have to create the new culturally thing, almost like how Fortnite is, but in a music way. Beta Raider had their own little game. It's like, how do we create that, but make it like how girls used to double dutch, you know, jump rope, you know what I'm saying? Make it where everybody wants to go inside this world and do something when it comes to music, you know? I look at it, it's like, when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is a game more than anything. And so when I kind of put that in his battery pack, he started like making a cool ass roadmap. That's why we say it's free to activate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's stuff that's underneath that is beautiful that we building out. Because I look at it, Timbaland is a world where Stock can have we could build out his thing in Timbaland. And I really call it the land. I don't really say Timbaland, I call it the land because
that's because he's Timbo.
Because I feel like I want everybody to own it. I want him to feel like, yo, meet me at the land. I'm doing this. Stock is out. Meet me at the land. I'm doing this. I got the pop off at the. I want to say almost. Don't beat me up when I say this. Almost like some dark web, but not dark web. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you can be free.
GTA feel.
Yeah, like when you can meet me at the land. Like, what's the land? Then people go on and then, you know, and it's a hub for people to create their own ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm starting off, and it got music. I'm starting off with music and other little things Zay's building out when we brainstorm every day, but it's really for everybody. And I said it's for everybody too, because it's a place that it's like, I look at it, I brought this island in Web3 that I'm developing. I need his place over there. I need World Star over here. I need this over there. I need Shade Room over here. You know what I'm saying? I need the hood back there and Congo somewhere over there. You know what I'm saying? I see it like that. You know, when people, and then once, I think you got to have something that's luring for people to come in Web3 and the metaverse and something that's catchy, just like how we got on Clubhouse, how we got on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like at first, y'all like, what the freak? I don't want to type with it. The next thing you know, you type it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to like make it where it's like, yo, did you hear what happened at the land? Or what? You know, the next thing you know, people are like, how you get on it? What is this? What is this? The next thing you know, you in Web3.
You got a gift for this. Stocks, quickly, last word on your end. What do you feel like is the future short term for Web3 in music?
I feel like the bull run gonna come back and all the doubt is gonna go out the window, simply.
I want to thank Dcentral Land for having us.
Right there.
I want to thank Stocks. I want to thank Zaid. I want to thank Timbaland.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all of you for paying attention.